I have always loved everything about Morticia and her garden, and I figured today would be the best day to create something magical, something spooky, something very Halloweeny in our porch. So I wanted to recreate, in my own way, Morticia's solarium. So I put on some good music, which was very much inspired by the Addams Family. So Twisted Thorn playlist, I made this myself. It's a little bit spooky, it's a little bit party, it's a little bit more adult. I did make a kid-friendly one as well. I actually made a bunch of them. So there's a ton of playlists on our Spotify, which I'm very excited about, and I put a ton of care into them. So I got to cleaning, and I figured we should probably speed this up so that it's like super satisfying, because I need to get all of this off of the table. So when I first took out my decorations from their rightful bins, I kind of divided and conquered everything throughout the house. So I put everything that had to do with Morticia Solarium on this table, and now I needed to separate it into categories. So the sun was just setting. It was so perfect. I planned on watching some movies this night and just completely overhauling the porch and also cleaning it up at the same time. My little friends. I have had a fascination with carnivorous plants pretty much my entire life. Now, so many of you told me to watch Little Shop of Horrors, which is now one of my favorite movies, but I know that in my heart of hearts, there had to be something else that I saw as a kid that made me obsessed with man-eating plants. I don't know where this obsession comes from. I find them fascinating. I want one myself. So I wiped down the table. We plan on hosting this coming weekend, so I figured that this would be a perfect opportunity to make a Morticia's tablescape as well. But we're going to overhaul the entire room. So I take everything out that had to do with summer, and remember how we DIY'd some of these jars? I plan on using them. I got everything out. So this was our fan from the summer, our bug spray, everything had to get out. All the books and all the baskets, because I was going to use this shelf as one of the main features for my plan. I thought it was very fitting that I used a pine-scented, kind of herby type of cleaning little product. It smelled really good. So I got this wall-mounted little vase holder, which I thought was perfect. And then I just started placing things where I thought they could go. And then I had these little pieces of cut grass, so I put those onto their shelves. I feel like we should play our game again. We played this the other day. I just want to say I could have guessed it from just that, but you have like 2 minutes to guess the movie. I'll show you a couple more clips. So I had got this man-eating plant. I have it in a bunch of different sizes, as you can see. I don't have the biggest one. I made one myself because he's like $200 at Michael's. But I decided to add in some branches. Do you have the movie now? Come on, you got to know what it is. And this might throw you because it's clearly not a Christmas movie, right? Carolers. So I added in some vines and little pieces into my man-eating plant vase because it was just styrofoam on the base, and it just made it so much more full and lush. I got this sign this year that I absolutely love. It's just like a metal sign, Witch's Garden. And I wanted all of the plants to be hanging down the sides and basically just taking over the entire porch. I had this man-eating plant from Michael's from years ago. He's like metallic. And then I got this little fellow this year. And these candles are very old, but I love them. Okay, now do we know what the movie is? I mean, I'm guessing you know what it is by now. If not, I feel like this is Angie's school of Halloween movie libraries and knowledge. Fun fact, this was one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid. I don't think that's that shocking. Obviously, we had to watch Addams Family with the theme of this entire porch. It just makes sense. So if you guessed it right, congratulations. We're going to watch both throughout this movie. I had this basket from spring, summer, and I figured I could kind of overhaul it and just hook it on this little side hook. And I had tons of these vines that I'd gotten off of Amazon. Last year I did a full staircase with like climbing vines and everything, and I figured this would be perfect for this room. And if you've followed for any amount of time, I am never done decorating. Like, it never ends. So I'm intending on getting a few more vines for this room and making them crawl even more up the walls and just I just feel like the sky is the limit with these vines. I could attach them to the entire room, and there's these really cool beams that go across the ceiling. I could get a ladder and add some more vines. I feel like it could be perfection. I had this rose candle holder that I figured could be perfect because Morticia cuts the roses. So I wanted a little bit of red, lots of green, and a lot of black. So I wanted to create this floral arrangement that was going to go on the coffee table. I got these black, I don't know, what do we call these? The like dangling, they look like dead flowers. They're incredible. I got them at Michael's years ago. Same with the roses. Are these not amazing? Any plant with teeth, I'm clearly fascinated by it. I got these this year. They had a section of black succulents and some with a little bit of purple and red, which I thought was incredible. And they had these purple little Venus flytraps this year. So I got these pretty early on in the season. There was just like an area with all black succulents, so I just got a variety of them, and they were buy one, get one. Do these not look incredible? And they all have a little bit of sparkle and shimmer to them. I love it. And I love her. She's fabulous. I almost feel like I need to get a pack of roses and cut them. I feel like that'd be perfect. So I tried to take from the movie and the way that they have it. They have a lot of dead vines growing, and I figured this little fishbowl could be so perfect. I love it. It's so cute with the dead fish in it. It's one of my favorite pieces. So again, I just added little pieces of grass on each. I had this old mirror that I got from dollar store, and I painted it black. And then I just tried to drape the vines in the messiest way possible. So I incorporated some snakes. Like I said, lots of Venus flytraps, lots of jars. This is actually a soap holder from Bath & Body Works, and I just kept it as a little vase, and then tons of little black candles also. The little potion jars that I talked about in the kitchen video, I added some in here too. I kept all the green ones for the solarium. And then I had this extra little vase. And this is the big guy. I made him last year. I think I did pretty good. I just used an old pumpkin, cut a mouth out, got some teeth, and then the vine that's holding his head up is actually for a lizard's cage. Interesting fact. I grew up with lizards. My brother had lizards growing up, so I figured this could be a really cool thing. It's what iguanas actually use in their cages, so it's actually real moss, and it looks very authentic, which I loved. I had this spiky vine, so it's like a black glitter. It almost kind of looks like barbed wire, but I thought it was perfect to kind of intertwine with the green. So for this, the messier the better. Blacks, greens, a little touch of red. These are from the dollar store. They are flowers with eyeballs in them. So I intertwine those. These are really old sticks that I had gotten at HomeSense. They were on clearance, but I just thought they were so like twisty and weird looking that they would be perfect for the solarium, and that I could wrap vines around those too. He's really old, the flower eyeball. And then these are from the dollar store. I just got like a bunch of snakes and I spray painted them black. So in that basket that's off to the side, I put a bunch of greenery and then some of these black and white pumpkins. This is actually from a little snow globe that broke. So I took the little man-eating plants out of it and I placed them there with a little tiny snake. And then I had I think these pumpkins were orange and I painted them black. I love putting the little eyeballs all over the place and just kind of hiding them throughout. I had about 3 of those eyeballs. They're like cat eyes, so I hid them in there. Can you see that I used real garden shears? Like, those are sharp. I just put them in there because that's what she uses to cut the roses, so I figured it'd be perfect. So it was getting very chaotic, very perfect. I put some of those branches up the top. It was getting chilly in the porch, so I put a sweater on. And then I figured I could climb up and hang some vines from the chandeliers also. I want to go up higher if I can. Like, I think I can get a ladder and go up to the beams. I think that would be really, really cool. I just have to make sure I can get everything down. And then I had these old hanging plants from, I think Michael's. I got them on clearance years ago. They used to be in our garden, like outside. A great thing to get on clearance, by the way, at Michael's is succulents. Like they go on sale at this time of year every single year because they're from the summer, and then you can spray paint them black or you can leave them green, and they're just fake succulents and they look really good. This guy is from the dollar store last year. Just like a skull with a bunch of plants coming out of him, and then I added a couple. And then it was time to do the table. So I had this old jute table runner. It used to be more for fall, like more autumn, but I figured it would work for this theme. So I had these like charger plates, so the black ones, and then I got these cute little apothecary style like witches plates for the main eating plates. And then I had to light this thing up. So I had all green fairy lights for this room. So in the other room I used all orange, and I figured all the green ones could be for this. And then I do have some that change color, so I just set them to green. And I tried to just accent where the vines were hanging the most. And the cool part is these are all remote operated, which should be the only way that I move forward with all of these lights that I use. Between all the candles and the fairy lights, everything needs to be on a remote because it is crazy trying to turn all this off at night. I feel like this year I'm getting better and better, but moving forward I need to buy things that are only battery operated and on a remote. So I just tried to place it in as much as I could. That's kind of the trick with fairy lights, is tuck them in as much as possible, like hide the wire. And then I just use some of the heavier pieces to weigh the wire down and just tuck it in. I am so happy with how this turned out. It looks so good. And I feel like I'm just going to keep adding to it, and it's almost going to be like an overgrown, crazy garden. Vines everywhere. I'm pretty sure I have more vines in the basement, so I'm literally running to go get them right after this. And you're going to see a full decorated house tour, so you're going to see the updated version of every single thing that we've decorated together. So I added in more candles. These are just little black wax candles, but they're all fake, obviously. That would be a fire hazard. Decorate responsibly. So I love all the skulls and all the little potion bottles and all the little spiders. I try to add as many details as possible so that it's basically organized chaos. I also have moss rocks in there. So this is that lizard vine that I have, and he's just coming out from the bottom. I love it. Chaos. Incredible. So I turned on all the candles. This is the full tablescape. I made 2 different vases with some black flowers in it and some sticks that I got. And then these guys are right in the middle, and the entire vines are climbing up the chandelier, which I love. And then I tried to recreate the same thing on the other side. I also added green lights to all of the areas that I wanted to accent. So I hung one of those hanging pieces from here so that the same kind of thing is happening from this vase. There's like the green lights coming out of it and it's climbing up the chandelier. But like I said, I just need some more vines, which we have. And then I did this little table nook on the side of everything because there was also green lights in this, and I had one little man-eating plant, and I had a Demogorgon candle holder, which I thought was perfect. So it looks so good in here at night. It's so romantic and fun. I do think that I need to add more. So if you have any ideas, let me know. But I did have one thought from watching one of the Addams Family movies. They had a chessboard. So I figured that could be something that I could incorporate on our coffee table and we would actually use it. So we bought a chessboard a little while back. It's like a Harry Potter one. So I figured that could be such a nice touch for the coffee table. I just love it so much. I'm so happy with this. I hope you guys are too. Definitely make sure that you give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions, drop them down below. And I will see you guys tomorrow for a very special, cozy fall/Halloween video. It's going to be so good. I love you guys, and I'll see you then. Bye, dudes.